still gonna
Neuz
them have to deal with that
was
defense.
definitely playing middle or anchor, and so opening with Neuz on the King Knight here, going up against Baltazar on Rayman. We're gonna be playing on Mammoth Fortress for this.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty fast crew battle gauntlet, right, going on Brawlhaven. So we're gonna get a different taste of the kind of gameplay that can happen here. And I feel like when it comes to super early knockouts, we're not gonna see them in quite the same fashion. And because Qatar players are nowhere to be seen here, I don't expect to see them going down in orange here either. So leads could get a lot bigger here.
They definitely can, because the outplay potential is bigger, right? You don't get sent off the side so easily. You have space to recover and get back onto that stage and keep strutting your stuff. Ooh, see, I'm saying stuff like that, and then if that landed, that's the end of the stock, man. Get me out of here. I feel like we're not commentators cursing right now. This is commentators' premonition.
We are just willing cool things into existence, right? It's like, come on, the neutral stick was supposed to hit Neuz. There we go.
Exactly.
Off the right side of the stage, same direction too. Now Bruxo is up against Neuz on the Nimue, bringing out the spear and the orb. So now let's see what Neuz is able to do with King Knight. Jumping around with the sword, weapon throw comes forward, and as far as stocks on Mammoth goes, hitting a Roland neutral sig off the top of the stage is pretty darn early. Like I expect this character to be living long, not be taking stocks that early on, and he's not even in the red yet. Gravity cancel, sidelight attacks even more damage, but he's low on jumps. He's got to be careful. If Bruxo gets the Edgeguard, that's it.
That's it. You're not making that. Yep, just fast fall, get it out of there, you know it's over.
I never look down on the player that tries to recover even though they don't know that they're not going to make it back, because I have literally seen players over-eagerly give them a chase dodge. So sometimes you just got to be like, maybe he doesn't know, because sometimes they'll dive kick forward, try and end the stock, they miss it, you get a nair, suddenly you're back onto the stage. But now that's not the case, and Monexo's up to fight against Bruxo.
Yeah, I've seen that a good bit too. I respect that, because I always feel like, just get him up out of there. But you're right. If the other player gets overzealous, tries to come out there,
options are like totally like, I get it, right? I see a player fast falling. Sometimes they have the jumps to make it back. They're just kind of like, I don't want to get knocked back that far again. They just dive kick off the side of the stage. It's like, let's just reset. Side air hits Bruxo on the orb. Tries to go for the gravity cancel neutral light, but the platform, I feel like the platform wasn't there. Monexo was set to fall into that.
For sure. I thought what we were seeing was a gravity cancel neutral sig, but either way.
Neutral sig not used, but side sig definitely used. And Bruxo takes that stock off the right side of the stage, and now Kyna is here to fend for his team as the anchor, trying to stop Neuz from going up again at a stock deficit as that sidelight comes through, and he's trying to get down to Wes as that anchor opponent.
Oh, that was a very nice pickup. Takes him out over the top, Kyna. Smooth. I was actually worried that he was going to end up taking a lot of damage. You know what I mean? I kind of thought he was in a predicament. You know what I mean?
And, well, in the D-Light recovery, I felt like you were almost ready to be like, oh, didn't knock out yet. Because it looked just barely like it wasn't going to. But no, Bruxo goes off the top. Stock's evened up. Now Wes going up against Kyna. And, oh, that wake-up stomp could have been huge. But Wes doesn't fall for it. But instead loses the weapon. Picks it up. Nair hits.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Piecing them. Those add up.
Yeah,
kind of
playing really well with the hammer here. And this is a pretty huge deal because Yellow was at a decent deficit before Kyna got in here and started hitting Wes. And if Wes goes down, Yellow team just steals the lead away. And we have no idea how Kyna versus Baltazar is going to look unless Kyna can get through Wes right here.
That's the power of the anchor, right? Kyna's doing exactly what he was supposed to do.
Wes is just oddly feeling clueless in this matchup, I feel like. I've yet to see him really get that ground, that center ground to get something started. I mean, downsing on Orion, just hoping that he falls into it.
Well, you gotta think about it, right? This is my take. Ooh, come on, tried to take him to the dance hall and get taken off over the top. Once again, I feel like almost everyone has gone over the top. But my take is, it's your first game in, right? You come in and you're dealing with Kyna, which it's already rolling on momentum. Yeah. So I think that's what kind of made him look a little clueless.
And that's a bit of the mental differences when it comes to playing a crew battle too, right? Because he also came in with his team at a lead against a person who has damaged more than him. And that's the thing that you think about, right? It's just like, okay, clean up the stock really quickly, worry about my next opponent. But that's not what happens. Instead, Kyna completely reads his opponent and takes the lead for the yellow team. Baltazar has to come in and clean up. And now Neuz is back in this matchup where he got a super early neutral sig knockout, and Baltazar doesn't seem too happy about that.
Yeah, I think Baltazar last time didn't really get to show him what Rayman's talking about, but I feel like he's going to have a conversation this time. Nice movement with his axe.
Both of their movement was crazy, right? Like Neuz was expecting a hard left fadeaway, and Baltazar almost goes around it to where they were. Anyways, Balthazar gets hit by the Nair on the way back down, and Neuz gets hit by it gets the side air onto Balthazar, and he's trying to go for those neutral stick knockouts again. Oh, Balthazar jumped up there. He was going to go for the finisher, but he decides against it. Can Neuz keep the lead for the yellow team, or is Balthazar going to get the turnaround here?
Recovery taken, going to go for the weapon starve instead of chasing off on the side. I like it.
Okay, all right.
How
many times does it have to miss before you stop liking it?
Exactly,
exactly. You got out of the first stock here, but Balthazar does know that you have that SIG. Side air hits though, and Neuz does take that stock, although this is much closer than last time, and in a similar position before, Bruxo really brought it out for the blue team to be able to take that lead.
That's for sure, because that lead was hefty, and Bruxo dang near tied it up perfectly and ties it instantly.
Yeah.
No, Bruxo gave them a lead last time. Yeah.
Well, because when West got in, that's when I was kind of like, oh wow, how is Kyna making it all back here, right? Because Bruxo was able to take down Balthazar, then go take down Monexo, and then bring Kyna into orange before finally going down. And it looks like he's trying to repeat the performance, if not do better, as he's only at a slight deficit here against his second opponent so far. His second time here on the stage, but Monexo fighting back better this time around.
Yeah, and you were talking about earlier characters that unexplored matchups, right? This is
Dusk.
This is one.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little less hype about Dusk because he doesn't turn into a literal rocket ship. but something that I find interesting about Dusk Nimue, who's an epic crossover for Dusk as a character, is that their signatures are precise in a similar way as Koji's, to where they have a lot of those two-part hitting moves, or they hit in a very specific part above the stage from them, to where if you get them to connect, the reward's very high. It's just difficult to do so.
That's correct. That is correct. But this orb is doing work.
Like the down sig from Orb has that crazy like triangular movement, right? Like I'm ready to see that. So far it's been all side sig, really catching the landings. We'll have to see. Look at that.
There it is,
He's
once again.
3 knockouts, by the way, on that same sig. He's been doing fantastic with it.
I'm definitely ready to see the damage that this Enchantress has brought to the table.
Oh, and now we've got
Kyna. Not
Enchantress. Nimue. You got it. But you fooled me. You've been just so good at that today. Yes. Yeah. Nimue, because Enchantress, oh, wait. No. Okay. No, it's Nimue for sure. Orb, Spear.
Definitely.
You can just say Dusk is be all right. Now, Kyna. Last time we had Kyna here, send to the orange, but then after he cleaned up Bruxo, West got like 2 hits, and then West was gone. And West is sitting here as seed, or as power rank number 2 in South America. And his I say almost definitely the one with the lowest amount of damage, maybe tied with Monexo. He's really, this matchup looks really tough for him. We got to see if that was just maybe it was a warm-up, and if he gets a weapon here, maybe he'll do better, because Kyna was just moving like crazy with the hammer last time they were in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel like West was sitting there stewing after losing that stock and is ready for action. And as we're seeing this, got the damage racked up, just needs one good touch, and Orion's pretty good at doing that, right? Boom, there it is. Shoot him with the back of the lance and shoot him into the heavens. I love it.
And that's fantastic. West using that move in a very similar way as how Roland does it with the neutral sig on sword. And this time we didn't just see him using spear signatures, hoping that they fall into it that time. It was very much in reaction to something else. Okay, Wes, what the hell, man? That is crazy. He's still going. Weapon throw pickup. I thought he was going to get him again. But Neuz, instead of jumping, goes for the wake-up sider. Neuz just doing anything to stop the onslaught of Lad's attacks. I can't believe it. Wes is just really not happy about how his performance looked in that first stock, and he wants to make up for it because so far Neuz just can't play the dang game. What is going on? That neutral sig almost finished him off, I swear.
I told you, man, he was stewing. He did not like how he performed.
Gets the chase dodge
Look
there.
at it.
What? West goes for the sidelight finisher. Okay, doesn't quite get him with the sider, disarms him. Oh man, weapon toss goes for the sidelight. Okay, West.
That was almost it. That was almost
Pogo,
it.
slide charge down sig.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Wes. I'm sorry. I should not have. I won't comment on the performance on the first stock. The first stock never happened.
It never happened.
You're doing great. And look at this. 4 stocks to 2 all of a sudden for the yellow team, right? Last time Wes was on the screen, he did like 80 damage and kind of got a 2-stock comeback. Now, Kyna's going to potentially be in the same position that Fiend was in the previous game if Wes keeps doing this, because Monexo, we haven't seen this matchup yet. And so far, it's looking good for Wes. I mean, Monexo, you just got to hit a neutral sig, a down sig, D-light recovery, weapon throw. There's a number of things that could work out here. Getting hit by sidelight, D-light, neutral sig is not one of them.
Not one of them.
I mean, Wes, way to go. Weapon throw, pick up Nair, what?
Oh, my goodness. I'll say one thing. Monexo's been doing a good job of not being taken to the land stance. The spear's going
the spear's doing some pretty crazy. Oh,
yeah.
no, there's no way.
Oh, no.
Wes is going to take the stop.
No,
okay, great
no.
dodge. You know what? I love it. Monexo has at least played against enough Orions to know with the neutral sticks coming in, right? He diagonal dodges right into there. He's like, don't you dare. He dealing recoveries. I was like, you can style on me all you want. You're not going to be hitting me with that neutral sig.
Oh, my goodness. Slides off with the side sig. I mean, I feel like I'm a scrub whenever I get hit by that. I wonder how these prolific players
The only
feel.
thing that's worse to me, well, okay, so Rayman's is definitely a lot more BM looking, right? But I feel about the same way when Asuri hits me with side sig too off the sword.
Definitely.
You get the sound effect long before the move is even active. And just, you're just kind of like, you like kind of look at them and you're like, what are you doing? Ah, and then you just get hit and you're off the right side of the stage. And Balthazar takes that stock, and now Kyna has to do basically a task that we have not seen anybody be able to come close to doing yet, and that is take 3 stocks in a row off of 1 stock. Kyna has to do it against Balthazar, then Bruxo, then Wes. Let's see how it could go. I mean, I thought Kyna had Wes's number, but after that last exchange, this is looking really difficult, but this is a good start.
Is this another one of those?
Whoa!
Do I run out of the studio? Is that what I'm about to do?
I will make sure that the door is unlocked for you to be able to run out of the studio. I actually think it's going to happen. Like, we have to get prepared. Production, get ready for Zip to literally just destroy half the set on the way out here because
move the cords, move them. No,
production
just kidding.
Was not happy that I said that.
They weren't happy about that at
because
all.
Kyna is going crazy, right? He took down Balthazar without taking any damage, and now he's got Bruxo in orange.
Yeah, he's. Oh my gosh.
Wait, actually though, Kyna. Wait. Side air hits. Okay. Oh, this is so exciting. Side comes through, neutral light connects. Side stick, no one's taking the dodge. The side air forces the jump. Bruxo has to use the dodge to get back to the stage. Last time we saw a double D-light ground pound. Kyna's looking for that stomp side air to take him off. Nair hits, not going for the weapon starve. There it is. D-light recovery, I think, does it.
D-light recovery, and it did it. And we're here at the final stop.
Okay.
Are you freaking
Kyna's
kidding
taken like
me?
3 hits. And last time, okay, so Kyna has either gone 0 to death by Wes or 0 to death Wes. And Kyna's got the momentum rolling. And this is the best amount of health that they've ever been in this position. And now Wes on the spear. Last time, he really screwed Kyna up with the lance. But the spear didn't look so hot. So let's see. Oh, Kyna, there's no way. Are you going to make this happen?
Kyna is on a mission.
What? Did that recovery hit the Nair?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I thought the Nair was going to hit.
I thought he had another recovery he was going to be able to use.
This is it. Kyna's going to make the 3-stock comeback. I swear, he's barely taking any damage. Okay, the side air hits. Wes takes off the stage. Nair recovery. Down air hits. Kyna goes off stage for the recovery, and Wes gets the Nair on the way back. Side air to the side. Wes gets him to the side air. He's low on jump. Fully charged recovery, but he's got to dodge back to the stage. If Kyna goes to the ground pound here, he doesn't want to risk it. Side air hits. It's anybody's game. Oh, the neutral stick misses. Kyna goes to the left. Can Wes do the job as the anchor?
Oh, the side air, and the recovery's already been spent.
Oh, he goes to the ground pound. Oh, the spear's picked up. Oh, there's no way he. Okay, side air hits. He has a recovery. He has only exhausted recoveries back. Dodges, come back to recovery. Hits. Kyna gets the reverse 3-stock, takes down every single player on the opposing team, and gives the yellow team the lead. I can't believe it. Zip, why are you still here?
I'm trying to compose myself and not break into full sprint.
I'm like trying to be incredibly hype right now, but you have not run out of the building yet.
I'm trying my best.
I guess
production told me not to.
Yeah,
man.
that's right. That's right.
So I gotta stay here.
We have to get the go ahead. But you know what, Zip? Regardless of the fact that you are still standing beside me, that does not take away the hype of the fact that Kyna just did the most incredible thing that you would hope that any anchor could do in a crew battle, right? That is literally why you are the anchor. I do not see Kyna moving from that position at all, right? That second stock did not look great from them. And then when it was all on the line, it was like, okay, no offense. It was kind of like he was running through bots. I'm going to be honest, that is how good it looked at the end there that I was kind of like, why are his opponents really not, like, what happened to them? Why aren't they playing the script? But that is just how great Kyna was doing in the end there, and I cannot believe it. 3-stock comeback. What the heck?
I came in here thinking that there was going to be some washes.
Yeah?
Right?
Yeah, so was I.
I definitely 100,000,000% did not expect to see somebody run 3-stock straight.
Yeah,
did not see it
not
coming
against the
at
blue
all.
team, right? And the strength that I give the blue team, you know what? I still do give them this. I think that this is going to be one of those things where if this is going to happen, it's only going to happen in one game because I think the strength that the blue team has with all of their players is that they are able to fight against everybody that's on the opposing teams. In fact, anybody in the region, I feel like, and not have to worry about getting consecutively like put in a position where you're in a 3-stock like that. I think Kyna really popped off, and oh my god, it would be so hyped to see Kyna continue playing like that. But for the sake of getting a game 3, I really hope that the blue team brings it back there, because that was just like, that was the perfect example of like a pressure player in that situation being like, ah, yes, 1 stock against the world. Heck yeah, I want that every single time. And the other team's just gonna be like, guys, why are we losing? Like,
I can only imagine.
Balthazar loses that stock, gets up, goes and gets a drink, comes back, and he's like, why does it say 0? What just happened?
I can only imagine being in that Discord. There's probably a lot of unsavory words being said there.
Yeah, or depending on the team dynamic, just like, it happened, run it back, right? And it's one of those things where this is why we don't have best of ones in tournament play, right? Because in a fighting game, there's a whole heck of a lot that's going through everybody's minds in those matchups. And there's a particular player strength that some players are better at than others, and that is adapting in between games rather than during, right? And we're going to have to see how that works in this crew battle, because with this crew battle format and the fact that each player takes a break per stock, they get a little bit of both worlds, right? Where it's like you are technically getting some time to think and adapt before you fight against your next opponent. So I'm wondering how this is going to work for the blue team. Are they going to change their character lineup? Are they going to try to have somebody there to better snipe Kyna? I mean, after that last matchup, I don't know if they've got somebody that can do it besides Wes.
Yeah, either Wes or Bruxo, man. I don't know.
Wes or Bruxo?
Wes or Bruxo. I don't know what they need to do. I feel like maybe you just go ahead and no, because Bruxo being in the mid has really been keeping them alive and solid, right?
Yes, and we were before.
That's actually why they had the lead.
Before the matchup got out of hand, Bruxo was being up there as the player that I was the most impressed with at that point, right? And I still was very impressed by Bruxo's performance. It just became a thing that kind of was an unstoppable monster. Though something that we didn't really talk about is that legend switches are a possibility here.
Definitely.
You see on the screen, Gruagach coming out for Neuz, which is off of the Roland. So I don't have to worry about getting too confused and accidentally saying use.
So, you know, it's all good. Because
we got a different legend. But that's something that could come in huge here. And on the other side, Bryn coming out for the blue team. So
you want to hear something funny before we get into this game?
Yeah, sure.
This is for all you guys out there, too. And this story, I don't know if this is a you had to be there one. But started playing Brawlhalla. I'm seeing Gruagach. I didn't know how to say that, right? I tried to say it like 4 times.
Yeah.
And then I just called him Baba Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush?
So me and all my homies, we call him Baba Ganoush.
Is that what you're going to be calling him in the set?
That's what I'm going to call him in the set.
I'm ready for it.
That is Baba Ganoush, a resident slapper.
You do lose out on a ton of hilarious memes when it comes to Gruagach's name, though. But you know what? It's fine, because that was actually just as hilarious. But you just can't be saying that you got by the Gawk anymore, right?
No.
Like you just can't do that. When you got Baba Ganoush, like.
That's actually amazing.
But anyways, we've got Bruxo versus Kyna, and they do. Okay, so we were talking about how we liked Bruxo being the middleman in that situation, but they're leading it. And then yellow team, on the other hand, right? Before the blue team, because in this case, when it comes to the lineup, right? Yellow team being the winner, they get to lock in the order of which people are going to be playing, and then blue team gets to respond. They saw what Kyna did last game. They're like, Kyna, just do that every single stock. We'll just, we don't have to play the game if you go in. But the blue team, having that advantage of being down a game to get the counter pick, gets to be like, okay, Bruxo, you held your own the best against Kyna. We're going to have you go in, mitigate the damage, and look at that. You know, I was talking about how Dusk's signature kit is precise in a similar way to Koji. I rarely ever see that neutral sig, but when it connects and you get that jump read, and it's like, it's like the bow neutral sig, but instead of knocking him off the top, you also have to position it correctly to be able to get the swing off the stage.
Exactly.
And he did both of those things perfectly, got the stock right away, and all of a sudden Kyna, who was a complete beast in the last game, barely did any damage going into the first stock.
So the coolest part about seeing that sig hit was you speaking about it earlier, and then Bruxo letting everyone know this is really hard to hit. Landed it and then threw it 3 times before his next opponent came out. Like, check it out.
He was just kind of like, oh yeah, you guys probably didn't know this was a move in the game, right? It's like, that's right. That's what it looks like.
Oh my goodness. All right, and we got the spear going up against the bow.
Whoa.
Tries the gravity cancel down sig.
Okay. Sidelight comes through. The neutral sig was, I guess, like a diagonal dodge up, diagonal upwards dodge. But it doesn't get the read right there. Monexo with the recovery. This would be pretty big. Monexo has been a bit of a weak link for the yellow team, where he has been doing a lot of damage. He doesn't usually get the knockouts. And oh man, Bruxo.
Bruxo doing
This is fantastic.
Look.
This is graduating from that second place spot, right? Bruxo's just kind of like, wait a second, I could just destroy everybody else. Let's just get me in there. And now he's against Neuz, and Neuz, out of everybody on the screen, besides Balthazar, hasn't really had a chance to warm up on this character yet.
My goodness. Yeah, hasn't had time to warm up on the character, but is out there with Baba Ganoush. Baba Ganoush lands one good hit, and that's a KO.
I can't. Oh man, it's just like axe recovery. He could just be like moving from one spot to the other. It's like, I was just trying to catch a train, man. I don't know why you're in the way of my axe recovery. That's your fault. Like, he's hit by the backswing. It's like, and then here we are as casters. Great spiking hitbox from the recovery. Axe side air hits and Neuz on Bob Ganoush, that's right.
That's it.
Taros, hammer and axe legend. Goes over the scoop onto Balthazar, and Balthazar on the Bryn. I don't even know what the name of the skin is, but I know for a fact that Balthazar is the only player that likes using it. And that's how I know that it's Balthazar playing the Bryn. Is here, now switched over to a character that I'm very excited to see him on. Is hitting a ton of sidelights, and the slide charge pivot neutral stick. We've had Roland's do it, we've had Orion's do it, and now we've had Balthazar on the Bryn do it, and it always looks so good. Getting that diagonal diagonal hitting signature off of the slide charge and pivoting it to get the dodge in place of the dodge away.
Yeah, that was such a read. And Kyna back in here, right?
Yep.
Comes off of the best performance we've seen of the night, comes in and kind of gets dealt with quick and easy by Bruxo. Now you have to kind of just show that that wasn't a fluke, right?
Yeah.
You got to turn up.
Kyna, out of everybody that I've watched so far today, I trust Kyna the least because I can't cast Kyna playing and accurately tell you what the heck's gonna happen. Because right now, Kyna, you're looking fantastic. But like, what am I supposed to expect now that Wes is on the screen? Are you gonna keep impressing me? Like, what is it because you're at a deficit now that you're like, oh, you're like. Leading with Kyna was actually the biggest mistake the yellow team could make, right? Because that's not a lead, that's not a deficit. What's Kyna going to do? Just walk off the stage? But now that he's behind, oh, he's about to get on fire here, right? Like
that makes perfect sense. I didn't even realize that's what's been happening. When Kyna's not down, Kyna's out.
Yeah. And you know what? In that sense, I feel like maybe put Kyna back on the anchor, but maybe even a bigger problem if they're actually in the lead at the beginning. Anyways, we'll have to see we'll have to see how this plays out here, right? Because he does still have to take Wes down for that theory to be totally accurate. And Wes giving a really telegraphed neutral sig there, giving Kyna an opportunity for an edge guard, dash forward, dash back. Maybe he could go for the side air. Wes gets that jumping side air, catches Kyna off guard. Oh, but that's the stock.
Tried to catch him jumping and just smart.
Kyna was at
stayed
2 stocks, and the blue team had 8. And now it is
2-stock lead.
Now it is 6-6.
Perfect.
That means Kyna can just go back off the stage. Yep, there you
and
go.
And get him out of there. There it is, right? Even the game up.
Even game, I'm bored. Gets hit by a side stick. For the viewers at home, I don't think that's seriously what's happening, but that's what it looks like. No, Bruxo, on the other hand, really the star player today. If we had a star player on both sides, it'd be Bruxo for the blue team and Kyna on the yellow, and that is carried over into game number 2. Monexo, I really want to see some adaptation here, bring Bruxo into the orange and maybe even deeper in the red. Nice wake-up sideline.
Bruxo's orb is ridiculous, actually. You know what I mean? Like the way that Bruxo's reading dodges and coming up on the right spots, using the right buttons, it's just been second to none so far. Oh, I like that. Tried to wait a second to see if the dodge was going to come out and could have got a recovery, but went for the neutral light because it, waited. That was good defense from Monexo. Oh my gosh. What's the percentage?
I think the accuracy on that move has to be, if we're not considering when he just uses signatures between stocks, it's got to be 80 to 90. Yeah. I mean, the fact that he's caught so many landings with the side sig, and now Bruxo on the spear, puts it the downlight. I wouldn't be surprised to see Monexo get caught with that neutral sig if he jumps over his head. He's looking for the downlights instead, but if he gets him at the edge, that's a great alternative move. Whereas downlight covers in front of you, the neutral sig covers right above you, and still gets that offwards hitbox. But there it is, D-light side air, and that's 2 stocks for Bruxo once again.
Bruxo back at it again with the white Vans. It's back to that 2-stock lead, and Kyna's not even back out yet.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Neuz better not get cleaned up.
Well, we're nearing critical mass for the yellow team, right? Because when Kyna's on that last stock, there's the down stick. Yes, the
oh my gosh,
Bruxo, no way.
No way.
Bruxo's orb is crazy, and that is a well-deserved emote there at the end. Bruxo's putting down the throne and being like, that's right, I am the king of this team in the crew battle, and really showing why I had so much faith in the blue team, right? This is one of those cases. Although Bruxo popping off this hard isn't exactly why I was like, okay, blue team, you're my favorite for the game, but you know what? I'll take it. Kyna now in here, D-Light recovery, cleans up that stock. You got to do 2 more without taking any damage for this to be an even game. And then we have the problem where Kyna's not the anchor this time.
That's definitely not a good look. I mean, not to say that Neuz can't hold it down for the team, but so far, it hasn't really been proven.
Yeah.
But, you know, Kyna's down. This is where Kyna shines, right? So maybe this stock gets taken care of quick. He gets rid of Baltazar, but who knows? Who knows?
Kyna maybe looking for a hammer pretty soon when the weapon spawn comes through. With the sword, he's only being able to get these fleeting hits, a nair here, a down air there, and whenever Baltazar does the same, you get that extra damage from the heavy weapon being the axe. Cider hits, disarms Kyna. If Kyna goes down here, I think that's all of Yellow Team's hopes and dreams for game number 2. And Baltazar looks like he wants to make that a reality. A weapon throw comes forward, Kyna picks up a fresh sword, but Baltazar still getting the neutral wins.
All right, here we go. Gonna pick up the spear, trying to go for a sig, and you're gonna allow some free damage there.
That's right.
Baltazar is giving a shy. That
you know,
blade
Baltazar like
eyelashes.
walked back and forth in place, being like, "Oh, I thought I got hit by that." Like, I was expecting him to go for a side sig off the punish, but I guess Kyna was just that close to not getting hit. And now at the neutral light, Kyna could take the stock, but this is not the explosive comeback that we were hoping from Kyna in this situation. As Kyna now has to go through West once again, who admittedly hasn't done much in this game, but has shown in game number 1 that he has that explosive power. Let's see what he could do.
So look, if Kyna's able to take the stock of West, that could be huge. I feel like that's what gives the Yellow Team a chance.
All right, Wes. All right. Celebrating a little prematurely there, but I mean, there's a good reason. It is 4 stocks to 2, and the one player that took out half your team stocks is now out of the game. So I'll give it to him, but let's see. Monexo, yet to really pop off so far. Let's see what he could do. So far, it's been rough. There's a down air. Nice gravity cancel D-Light recovery. That's huge. The chase out to continue chasing. Like that play from Monexo.
All right. Man, that Lance, I feel like the Lance showed out maybe one time. Remember when I said he took him to the Lance dance?
Yeah.
That was the one shining moment from West that I've seen so far.
Ended with the neutral sig, blast him off the top.
Yeah. But, you know, okay, the Spear's actually been looking pretty good, too. Caught that recovery with the D-Light.
He even touched?
And that's,
he didn't have to. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do that.
No.
Oh, that hurt. I see the sweat beads coming. He's out of there. He dash fast falls, gravity cancel D-Light. He's like, and now he's just going off on Neuz with the Lance here. And what have we found out? We found out that if Kyna can't be brought out in a healthy stock to be able to deal with West, the rest of the Yellow Team falls apart.
That's true. That's true. And there goes Neuz, lands the old snatcher.
That's not even West's last stock, though. And that's the challenge here. But you know what? We were literally here before with Kyna, and now we're here with Neuz. I get it. He's on the what? I don't even. Was it the Baba Ganoush?
Baba Ganoush.
He's on the Baba Ganoush.
You got it.
Right? We have no idea what Neuz's potential is with this character. We do know what Bruxo's potential is with this character, though.
Man.
So we gotta be a little afraid for Neuz here in this situation. Bruxo goes to the dash jump forward, putting up the down airs. Neuz can't get the anti-airs working, and Bruxo just gets a plethora of hits off. There's the X recovery, but he's getting juggled right now. And he holds it. He holds it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what?
Oh my goodness.
Huh. I learned something today, Zip. I was like, first of all, Neuz held that ground pound. Neuz held that ground for like 7 seconds.
Right.
It still hits him, and I was like, why did he still get hit by that? It was a setup. It was a total setup. He was like, and this is something that we'll see certain players do. Oh, we're going to see that double ground pound edgeguard from Bruxo. Bruxo, MVP for even if blue team goes to lose the set, unless Kyna does like a reverse 6 stock, I'm calling Bruxo MVP of this set for sure. Such beautiful play. There we saw that deal. West, like the way, how quickly he got down there for that D-Light side air was, he basically teleported position. And now we're going to be seeing his, so here's the ground pound. Bruxo gets it, recovery, gets the spike. I was wondering why the spike happened. The down air, traveling with the unarmed to get the jumps back, put him right underneath the ledge. There was no hope. That spear recovery gets him perfectly off the bottom of the stage.
Yeah, bounced him right off the bottom there. And now,
that was funny.
Now that move by West, even though there was no grave situation at hand or anything like that, just the way the way that was executed, that makes that the play of the match.
Yeah.
You guys can argue with me all you want. That was the play of the match.
Yeah, Wes and Kyna both, as anchors and as the top seeds in their respective teams, have had some very, the word that uses inconsistent. That's what I was looking for. Inconsistent performances so far, due to the fact that Kyna could go from 4-stocking a team to not taking a single stock. Wes had the same situation, right? Once Kyna was out of the way, Wes just destroyed the yellow team, left it in the hands of Neuz, who just wasn't able to hold up against Bruxo, who has been overall MVP of the match. But blue team's strengths are really starting to get highlighted there as we went into game number 2. And that's why I was talking about, even though game 1 happened and Kyna looked fantastic, this is why I really have high hopes for blue team going through the rest of this tournament. Just because I feel like their team really is well-rounded as far as everything else that got drafted.
Yeah, so it's the way that this set has been turning out. It's you go in and it looks like the blue team is pure dominance. And the only time it looks like the yellow team could even compete at all was because of a clutch by Kyna, right? That's the only reason they're even close to being in it.
Yeah.
Right? So they're going to have to show me something right here. That this team, the yellow team, is really going to have to step it up and make me believe in it.
They have decided that movement speed is the way, as Neuz and Monexo are on the Hattori, going into game number 3. And you're right, at least how you described yellow team's performance so far, where it looks like it was saved by Kyna, otherwise it's looking pretty grim. When it comes to Neuz and Monexo getting on to the field, each time that they're there, I feel like they're just getting a little bit more and more understood by their opponents, and they're doing less and less. So let's see if this switch, the double switch, the Hattori, is enough variety here to really put blue team on the back foot. Because in the end, this next game is all that counts in this best of 3, right? The winner of this gets to move on.
So I like putting this one out here first. We put Neuz out here versus Bruxo. I mean, and the thing about Neuz right now is Neuz is moving very, very well.
Yeah.
And Neuz was moving great with the Terrors, but not landing hits. Now we're seeing a kind of trading even game, but that is about
accuracy
what?
On
We're
that
about 96% now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we called it 80 to 90 earlier. We've dropped back down. We're about 87.
Now we're getting into that cast or curse category there right now. And Bruxo, this is pretty great from Neuz. The siders are coming out from the Edgeguards here, but Bruxo has been,
no.
You hate to see that. He just dodged straight into the orb. I think he was hoping he could dodge through it.
Definitely, of course.
Yeah.
But sometimes that trajectory and the speed of the weapon toss, you just miss time it a little bit.
It's a little bit more embarrassing because that orb is like literally the tiniest weapon. but you know, shout out to Bruxo, cover that area. Monexo Neuz could have dodged it in a lot of different ways. But yes, something to note, we didn't talk about it. Kyna back at the anchor position.
Kyna back at the anchor.
Not leading.
Yeah, that's what they needed to do. That's exactly what they needed to do. And Bruxo, as the point, was the perfect decision for the blue team. Are you kidding?
Yeah. I feel like almost what yellow team's hoping is that let's just keep Bruxo damaged enough so that when Kyna gets onto the field, if ever he has to fight him, he doesn't have to fight him for very long. Because Bruxo showed that he can most consistently rack up damage on anybody that he faces.
Any single one of them. Yeah. As I think Bruxo's been showing that they're the player of the day. That orb is unstoppable. But here we go, Wes going up against Monexo. Wes is going to have to strut his stuff after doing all that taunting last game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, it's a good start here for WPLI recovery. That's got a little deserving of a celebration right there when you get that in. And he gets the recovery off the top. Now Wes, it is 8 stocks to the 7 of the yellow team. And Kyna, it's in that sweet spot, right? You're at a deficit. This is where you shine. And look at that. I think that they were hoping. No, I don't know how a recovery could turn into a downer there. Maybe they were hoping that they could jump and they just ended up falling off the stage. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Whatever it was, though, it was still good damage. But now Wes, because he was able to escape the string, is continuing to do more damage here.
Yeah, the recovery was definitely the option there. You scoop him down, and then, honestly, with the lance in hand versus that hammer, I feel like Wes would have been in big-time danger.
Ooh. D-Light side airs, neutral lights. This is really back and forth between the two. Neutral light punishes the side light. The side light comes through. Oh, they're really just hitting each other. One move. Okay.
Oh, he doesn't go through the platform with the ground pound. That was supposed to be a free punish, and now you're almost going to lose the stock?
I wonder why that happened. I don't know. That's interesting. Because I guess I could see if he was trying to let it go a little bit earlier to get a particular hitbox, or he didn't want to risk whisking it. But either way, that platform saved the heck out of Wes.
I just thought you are going for a ground pound.
If you just hold
the point of releasing it,
yeah,
right?
If you just hold it, you go all the way through. But you know, sometimes things happen. And now
stuff happens.
And now
it's like
Wes
getting popped in the noggin with the orb.
Exactly. Actually, it's like literally exactly like that, right? You have the idea, it all works out perfectly. You just mistime the mechanics a little bit, and suddenly it's a dead even game.
Dead even game. No, actually, no,
I
they're down.
lied.
They're down.
I was so fooled because I didn't realize that Baltazar was in the anchor position for the first time in this game 3. Wes usually holding that position, but now is putting in that center position to be able to deal with Kyna. Baltazar now going up against Neuz. Blue team still solidly in the lead, but Neuz here on the Notori for the first time, really popping off on the spear.
Yeah, I'm liking this. This is the best we've seen Neuz play this whole time. This is nice aggression, nice movement.
Yeah.
We're not at groovement yet.
No,
we're past movement and we're at movement for Neuz.
Yeah.
And we're landing a lot of hits here. This is much better than the Taros pick.
Oh, but Baltazar cleverly dipping down underneath the Mammoth Fortress platform to avoid the weapon throw, then jump right back up to cover Neuz's landing with recoveries. But Neuz disarms Baltazar, tries to go for a side air. Baltazar gets around, but doesn't get the recovery after the downlights. Neuz sweating, but still hitting with that gravity cancel side light, and Neuz could take the stock right here. D-line recovery came so close. That was crazy, chasing him down with the side air that high up in the sky. That was great.
Not only chasing there, just chasing all along the map. I felt like he didn't even have a chance to play. Baltazar was just getting hounded.
Yeah, Baltazar, the weakest performance from so far being in that anchor position, but let's see if Bruxo can make up for it. Neuz evens up the game, but pretty severely damaged. As we were talking before, right when Bruxo is up against anybody on the yellow team, it is just a tough matchup in that one stock scenario. Or picked up, this is what Neuz really has to be afraid of, is that landing. If Bruxo can get him with the side sig on the landing.
He's got to land. So, yeah, the side sig has been the answer. Tried to get it there.
Ready
Drops that
it,
percentage again. And Neuz is still trying to bring it up for his team. Trying to get that lead.
Straight up from the neutral sig coming up for Bruxo, but that sider will do it. Really bad on a jump up or a dodge up there. Neuz put the entire stock in the line. Doesn't work out, and now Monexo is going up against Bruxo.
You know, put a good bit of damage on Bruxo. And, you know, sometimes you got to risk it. Sometimes you gotta risk it. So I'm not mad at the attempt. The attempt does get your stock taken out, but you were already super hot Cheeto
If
red.
a Tori neutral sig hits you on the edge of Mammoth Fortress platform when it's on that side of the stage, you're out in orange.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I'll go and say that was warranted.
Oh, but Monexo now, we'll see if it does the same thing. Side six coming through. Tons of damage from Bruxo. Or picked up. Side air gets him as he whips the neutral light with a nair, dodged in place, and Bruxo makes it back to the stage. Okay, this is the best that Monexo's been looking so far. Oh, I think he wanted to fall with the side air, but he gets on top of that platform. That platform has just been ruining everybody's day today.
Yeah, it definitely has. Everybody's struggling with it. They're trying to come through it, and nobody's able to get through.
As far as Mammoth Fortress goes, it has been spending an unusual amount of time over the center of the stage. But, you know, I could just be thinking, it could just be because we're spending a longer duration on Mammoth than we usually do in a regular 1v1 or 2v2.
That does make sense.
I didn't think about it.
That does make sense. Maybe we're just not used to seeing this thing stick out here. It's been putting in long hours.
It's already coming back.
On vacation.
It's just like, come on, man. 20-minute games. What are you talking about? No, Silent hits. Oh, kind of pop it off on Wes. And now Wes really has to take the stock back. So last time this happened, kind of got like 5 or 6 hammer attacks in, then goes down, and Wes just destroys the rest of the team. Let's see if we can do the same thing here, as it's really, really close between these two right now. I have to remind myself and the viewers at home, Baltazar is the anchor this time, not Wes. I keep thinking this is anchor versus anchor, but it's not.
Yeah, not at all. Wes is not the anchor this time around. It is Baltazar, but Wes, you know, when you look at the play of this round, every time I try to start breaking something down,
something happens.
Yeah, it happens in a way that it makes what I was going to say not matter.
But what were you going to say?
You know, we're throwing that away. That thought is gone. It's over with.
It's out. And now we've got Wes here, who I think if he takes down Neuz here, we're going to see 3 different emotes at this rate, right? Like that's I can see the energy behind Wes's playstyle right now. He's at that point where he's just having a ton of fun. Oh, you got to kidding me? Spot dodge with the weapon throw. Okay, Wes.
Wes, are you not taught yet? This is taught territory.
You don't need to after you outplay your opponent that hard, right?
Yeah.
He does it down light. He lands on the platform, spot dodges in place, waits for whatever the heck Neuz is going to do, gets the neutral sig to spike and the weapon throw to secure the knockout. The double D-line recovery. He does a chase dodge recovery with the sweat beads coming through, and now Monexo with the D-line side air is trying to fight for his dear life, but oh my goodness, Wes. After game number 1, I can't believe he has it in, but of course I should. He's PR number 2 for a reason, but oh my goodness.
So we're thinking this because the first stock.
There it is. There's the second one. Where's the third?
It was two. It was two. That's fine.
It's two.
That's
The
fine.
third will come at the end of the match when he takes down Kyna here, who, by the way, he just finished fighting about 60 seconds ago. And it's like, that's right. This is actually a crew battle. This isn't a 1v1. But Wes could have fooled me because he's already back to fighting Kyna again. And he still has 2 stocks. And guess what? He's still not the anchor. Nothing changed. I know it sounds obvious, but I still got to remind you, he's still not the anchor. Balthazar is.
It's 5 stocks on deck for the blue team. Take it down to 4. Good stock by Kyna, but man, you are down big.
Right.
You took 3 stocks. Can you do 4?
Well, if he does, I feel like we could go against production this time, right? When it comes to this run,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
the
come
entire
on.
set's just going to explode at this point because Kyna, I mean, last time we said it. Oh, man. All right,
I wouldn't be
take it
surprised
back.
if
I take it
production
back.
ran out of the building too, right? Like, I feel like the stream comes back and everyone's just gone.
I can see them getting the hammer and axe props behind us ready to start just performing a Baba Ganoush axe recovery on me. If I'm not careful, right? Gotta watch what I'm saying. Balthazar could make this 4-stock happen. Kyna, went for the stomp on the platform. Scoop hits. All right.
Okay,
1 stock down, 3 to go.
We're on hot red. We're on hot red. Got the hammer in hand. The hammer has been Kyna's best weapon so far.
Yes.
I feel like, especially at low damages, Kyna's been putting together
Kyna's
a lot
been stringing
of strings.
attacks through with the hammer, similar to how we were seeing Hazardel do with the greatsword. Let's go, Bruxo. Let's go. Hit him with the neutral sig on the landing. Send him flying out the left side of the stage. Look, am I reading that right? 117 for Balthazar.
No, you didn't read that. Don't do that.
No?
No.
I was about to cheer. That's Anchor, right? Anchor on a good team. I didn't have to play. Let's go. Right?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking
I see
about.
what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, that is 1,087 damage from West the second he was put off that anchor position, right? He gets set in the center of the stage like, this is comfy, right? I don't have to be responsible for opening, for closing. I'm just here to play the game, and play the game he did. Over 1,000 individual damage for West alone going into that game number 3. This set is exactly why I looked at blue team and I went, they are just incredibly stacked. I mean, that's exactly what you're hoping for, Zip. When you're on a team like that and you're put in the anchor position and your damage numbers just barely crack 3 digits.
Exactly.
That's got to feel great.
Exactly. It feels good. If you're playing ranked, you know you kind of want to play, right? But if you're here in this situation, if you're here for the competition, and you get to sit back and watch your boys, ooh, nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fine. I'm here for that.
Oh,
but
man.
so Wes, if Wes wanted to